Chicago's corrupt leadership just suffered another huge L after a U.S. Court of Appeals officially blocked the order that would have required Border Patrol Commander Bovino to meet with the judge daily over Chicago immigration operations. This ruling is a direct pushback against activist judges and Mayor Brandon Johnson, who have been trying to micromanage federal law enforcement, and is sending shockwaves through the system. So we're breaking it all down, showing you how each side is presenting their case and what it really means for the people caught in the middle. Stay locked in, and as always, you enjoy the content, make sure to like the video and subscribe for more breakdowns just like this. And so let's start when the news first broke out, originally about the requirements from that leftist judge and Mayor Brandon Johnson speaking about how he feels things are being handled. Take a listen.
Good morning. You talked about the judge hoping that she can sort of get some accountability from Bovino today. I want to mention three things that happened in just the last half hour in court, and I want to see if these sort of move the ball in any way from your perspective. Three things she's asking for. Number one, she wants all use of force reports and body-worn camera footage since September 2nd by the end of the week. I guess that's 1 and 2. And that she wants Bovino in court every weekday between now and November 5th for an in-person update. Does that do anything to help assuage your concerns of a lack of accountability?
Well, to start, I don't know if there's anything that's going to assuage my apprehension or even, quite frankly, my rejection of their approach, simply because, as I said, it has been incredibly gruesome of how this administration has executed in this particular season, but it certainly is a start in the right direction.
Mayor Brandon Johnson, he can cry and complain all he wants about how he feels, and that's just what he's doing, crying about how he feels about what's going on. But what ICE is doing is exactly what they are allowed to do under federal law that was passed by Congress. All these protests, all the chaos, people blocking vehicles, throwing rocks, trying to obstruct operation, none of that changes reality. It might delay things for a few hours, but it doesn't stop the inevitable. If these people really want to change how immigration enforcement work, you don't attack federal agents. You go to the people who you elect and you push them to change the law. Because clearly what the Court of Appeals has decided is that what these agents are doing are within the law. Take a listen.
The Department of Justice filed their appeal just hours before Commander Bovino was set to meet with Judge Ellis for the first time. That appeal accusing the judge of overreach and attempting to micromanage the commander, who had been ordered to meet with her daily to fill her in on any use of force on behalf of his agents with the public. One of the incidents that he may have had to answer for today took place in Aurora, where it appears that agents shot pepper balls at a woman's vehicle with her 2 young children inside.
You can't be blocking us in. You understand?
I understand.
We'll make sure your kids are okay.
Cell phone video taken outside of an Aurora grocery store this morning shows Elizabeth Pineda moments after federal agents appear to have shot pepper bullets at her vehicle's windshield, her 2 young children in the back seat of the car. Speaking to us shortly after leaving Mercy Hospital today, Pineda, who is a member of Aurora's rapid response team, recounted what happened shortly after she pulled into the grocery store, attracted by the whistles used to alert residents of agents' presence in the area. She admits she was unwittingly blocking one of the agents' vehicles in.
You heard them mention that this woman is a member of the Aurora Rapid Response Team, an activist network out of the state of Illinois. And when you look them up, even on their own Facebook page, it says their message is to educate, advocate, and investigate on behalf of our immigrant and refugee neighbors. So let's be real. This just wasn't some random mom who stumbled into the scene. She's a part of an organization that exists to monitor and interfere with ICE operations. But now she wants us to believe that she heard a whistle, the same whistle that they use to alert illegals when ICE is nearby, and somehow, unknowingly, blocked in an ICE vehicle with her kids still in the car. I just don't believe that to be a coincidence as much as it is a calculated stunt that she thought would have no consequences. And this shows how reckless these activist groups have become, putting their own families and law enforcement at risk just to make a political point.
He decides to back up, then get close to me and tell me that I better get the out or I'm gonna get arrested. There's agents coming at me. All I hear is them shooting, which I thought they were hitting my windshield. I didn't think that they were actually shooting at me until everything happens.
It was just yesterday Judge Sarah Ellis ordered Border Patrol Commander Gregory Bovino to make sure his agents have their body-worn cameras rolling during all encounters with the public, while also having their identifiers clearly visible on at least 2 locations. This as she seeks to enforce a temporary restraining order that forbids all federal agents participating in Operation Midway Blitz from using chemical agents when their physical safety is not in danger, and without giving at least 2 clear warnings about what they are about to do.
They didn't acknowledge that my kids were in the car. I had no form of weapon in order for them to attack me how they did. No cameras were visible, no numbers were visible. They did have their badges, but I couldn't make it out.
It is still not clear what agency the officers involved belong to, but the incident illustrates the type of encounter that Judge Ellis sought to be briefed on during the daily meetings she had ordered Bovino to attend before the circuit court's decision late today. Appearing on Fox News earlier, Bovino said this.
We've never been in violation of any TRO, any law or regulation. We're going to speed those apprehensions up, and now we're even going to go harder. Now, Harris, we go harder now, and I'm not worried about it at all.
Now, daily meetings or not, Bovino will still have to be back at the courthouse tomorrow morning when he is scheduled to sit for what could be an up to 5-hour deposition regarding his agency's use of force practices in Chicago. Now, as for that incident in Aurora, we have reached out separately to DHS and to ICE as we try to determine what agency was even involved in the incident, but as of now, that has still not been made clear.
It's pretty evident that this report wants to make her out to look like the victim. She didn't acknowledge her kids were in the car. Why put yourself in a situation where you're blocking ICE agents from doing their job and you know you have your kids in the back seat? That makes absolutely no sense, other than the fact that you thought you could use them and then also get sympathy because now it looks like a mother who's being abused or attacked by ICE agents and it's the big bad ICE, and look how they're just causing chaos. And what all of these protests and agitators are showing is just a lack of respect for law enforcement. When they're blocking in vehicles, preventing agents from doing their job, it's a lack of respect for the law. If this was any other line of law enforcement, FBI, state or local police, and citizens decided that they were going to try and block their vehicle, it would be an automatic arrest. You just can't do that. But somehow these people believe because they feel like they're right, they can do it in this situation. And it doesn't help when you have an incompetent mayor like Brandon Johnson or a governor like J.B. Pritzker who allow for this to go on. And so here's Tom Homan speaking about if they were just to come out, the judges, the mayor, the governor, and take a ride with ICE for just a few hours, if even that, then they actually understand what they actually have to deal with on a daily basis. Take a listen.
Here's what should happen. The judge, Governor Pritzker, Mayor Johnson, put a Border Patrol uniform on for one shift. Come out there and stand there with the men and women of the Border Patrol and ICE and see how you're going to respond. Look, the Border Patrol agents are trained very well on use of force continuum. They don't go from 0 to 100. There's no use of force against peaceful protesters. But when they impede them, when they threaten them, when they assault them, when they trespass, use of force is used at the lowest level to make someone comply. To the highest level is needed if it's a death, an action of a death threat or serious bodily injury.
If Brandon Johnson, J.B. Pritzker, or any of those liberal judges went on a ride along with ICE, it wouldn't change a thing because they're all choosing to view this situation through a very specific lens, one where the agents are the enemy. And so it doesn't matter what they see from these protesters or what the agents do correctly, it's going to be their fault. That's the script. And Brandon Johnson, he'd probably be licking his chops at the chance to turn it into a race-baiting photo op. But here's the thing. When you actually just hit play and let the tape run, you see what's happening out there. So let's take a look at what these agents are really going through as Fox News points out some disturbing findings from the ground. Take a listen.
DHS posted some video of the incident on that day showing you and what you and your agents were really up against. And if people haven't seen this, the Department of Homeland Security put out this video on its website. And we have a close-up look at that now. You were hit in the head by a rock hurled by a rioter, multiple rocks and other objects. I saw a bottle full of water, I would assume, so heavy, thrown at the heads of people there, too, your agents. Fireworks shot toward the agents. We also see someone with a knife appearing to slash or try to slash a government vehicle's tire. And multiple warnings to the crowd to back up. Chief Bovino, talk to me about this day.
Sure, Harris, we see this. The sad part of what you see in that video, our agents are in contact with that type of violence every single day. They go out into the streets every single day. After I left court yesterday, I was out with agents, and Harris, I was appalled at what I saw, literally appalled at what I saw. At one point, we had 70 vehicles. That's 70 vehicles obstructing and following our agents. And many of these vehicles engaged in violence. We made arrests. That's every day. So what you see in that video, that's reality.
The people out there protesting, the agitators, like the woman who thought it was a bright idea to block a federal law enforcement vehicle while she had her kids in the car, they feel like they can do this because of the leadership they're seeing. When you have a mayor like Brandon Johnson up on stage, crying in press conferences, always playing the victim because he doesn't like how enforcement is being handled, that sets the tone. He can feel however he wants. But that's not leadership. When you're the mayor of one of the largest cities in the country, I just don't think you lead with emotion. You lead with order. And when the message from the top is one of weakness, deflection, and blame, well, of course, the people beneath you feel emboldened. They start to think that it's okay. They're right. They should be allowed to obstruct and block an agent's vehicle. They should be allowed to confront an officer and throw rocks and turn what's supposed to be peaceful protest into all-out chaos, because the leadership has made it seem like the real enemy isn't crime, it's the people enforcing the law. But guys, let me know your thoughts. Drop your comments down below. If you enjoyed the content, make sure to like the video and subscribe for more breakdowns just like this. And don't forget, stick around for the next video. Mamdani faces a bit of a revolt as Democrats scramble to distance themselves. Stay tuned for that, and I'll see you next time.